How do the Patriots get in this dangerous weapon known as Malik Cunnigham? If you're the Steelers and you're Mike Tomlin, who deal with Deshaun Watson twice a year and deal with the move quarterback in the NFL in Lamar Jackson twice a year with Baltimore, how in the world do the Patriots coaches say, all right, we don't have a guy as talented as Lamar, and we don't have wide receivers on the outside like Lamar does. And the Steelers played the Ravens, and they did have Mark Andrews, so at least we can look at the tight end part of it. How in the world do the Patriots coaches look at it and say, they deal with Baltimore a couple times a year. We're never going to be able to do what they do. So why would we do it against this team?
You're acting like the Patriots are operating from a position of strength. They are not. You're acting like they have some sort of high leverage. They don't. You think they have all these different weapons. They don't exist. I'm not putting this in the category of 25% of their offense. I'm putting it in the category of 10% of their offense. I'm putting it, look, let's give them one play. We've repped it 100 times. Let's just – and this isn't like a throwing caution to the wind and saying, I just want to see it.
That's what this sounds like, though.
No.
That's
this to me,
what
because
this
I
sounds
still
like.
think Bill operates – the way I think Bill looks at this game is we're not going to score. So we can't lose the game on offense. We have to try and win it on defense. Legit non-offensive touchdown. You're dealing with Mitchell Trubisky. He's going to give you a couple, okay? So can you get that one and get it into field goal range, like where it's an automatic thing? What the Steelers are saying, and this is, quote, an unlosable game. I heard that this morning too. They're looking at this, at least the media is, the players are going to play it clean.
Well, they learned their lesson after they lost in Arizona.
Yeah, and they and the Arizona Cardinals ran all over them. So I'm like, all right, but they're still calling it an unlosable game. They think about it, even if you just, which I feel like is a danger zone, but I have a hard time believing that the Steelers are going to get caught with their pants down 2 weeks in a row. I don't feel like the Steelers are going to lay an egg against the Patriots after they just got spanked by which you could consider or would consider a better team, but whatever. Their defense is really good. Their offense is suspect. It's suspect. Good luck moving the ball.
Honestly, the Steelers, in some ways, are going to try to do the same thing that the Patriots are going to do. They're going to try to throw it shorter to intermediate.
Yep. Don't turn it over, Mitch.
That's the thing. If you keep the deeper throws away from Mitch Trubisky, you kind of keep him out of danger, right? But there's also they want to run the ball. They, in a lot of ways, want to do the same thing.
A similar game plan.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And it's the whole protect the quarterback, make sure they don't screw it up. But I will try to have sort of a serious look at Malik Cunnigham.
Do you think he's going to play? Just simple.
Oh.
You think he's going to play tonight?
Yeah. Well, yeah. He has to, but it's not going to be a quarterback.
No.
Or I don't think it's
where
going
is he
to be.
playing? Where is he playing?
Well, I mentioned this to you last week or whenever the Patriots played on Sunday against L.A. If you're going to get Cunningham in there, you have to start working him in at wide receiver first. He's got to be involved in either packages that you're checking to or motions, or he's the guy that does the real hard kind of jet sweep motion when you're turning around and handing it off to the tailback. The problem with Malik Cunnigham that everyone seems to be missing, at least in my opinion, is everybody just thinks, well, throw him back in there, quarterback, and it'll be fine. He has never thrown the ball. And the one time he did against the Raiders, he completely turtled and they took it away from him. When it got into a longer down and distance, the Raiders said, F it, this guy will melt. And they blitzed him and he completely turtled on the one time he could have thrown the ball. So unless you're going to just scream, hey, the other quarterback's in and we're going to run the ball right now, they have to mix him in on offense somewhere else. And that to me is where this has to begin. If you put Malik Cunningham in the backfield, you're telling the Steelers, man it up on the outside, safety in the middle of the field who's playing run, and everybody is coming towards the line of scrimmage. Unless you get him in another role to be able to introduce him into the game, get Malik Cunningham into the flow somehow, and then if you're right by field position, blocking, that kind of stuff, then you put him in there. Where I completely object, and where I thought you were coming from in the beginning of the show here today, Christian, was the
Flipped it on you.
No, but it was the whole, well, let's just see it. Throw him in there. Lots of people, how bad can it look? Gresh arguing with you is silly. Just throw him in. Winning an NFL game is not, what the hell, let's throw him in there and see what happens. They did that against the Raiders, and it was 3 disastrous. There's a reason they have not gone back to Malik Cunnigham after the disaster of the Raiders, because the whole let's see what it looks like crowd, they saw what it looked like. They saw him turtle, and they were like, let's scrap
Malik
this
Cunningham,
and rework it until later.
He's no different than a rookie who fumbles, and they say, bench him. It's too fast for him. He's not ready.
Right.
So, and then you see him like 6 weeks later. So here's what the Patriots will do. He will be on the field, and because the Patriots want to know how will the Pittsburgh Steelers defense react to him. What personnel group are they bringing in a different body? How do they set their defense? First, they're going to take a Kodak picture. Let's look and see what bodies come on the field if Malik is on with Bailey Zappi. Okay, great. Line them up in the slot. Let's motion them. I do think they're going to use. First of all, they need them.
That's where they
don't have a lot of bodies.
Agreed.
They'll pull him behind the quarterback. They'll pull him in front. He'll go behind, then he'll go back. And the thing is, and it's all eye candy, and it's not extremely threatening because they're not stupid.
They did it
and they're
last
not going
week.
to take the cheese. They did it with Thornton.
And
okay, now we're going to
yep.
do it with Malik Cunningham.
Bingo.
So here's what we do. The Steelers aren't dumb. They know he's not a threat. But really, I would say. I think the Patriots know that they cannot, just meticulously, drive the ball down the field.
They're not going to methodically have a 15-play drive and score. Yep.
I think they have, and they have been, the one thing they have been lacking is explosive plays. They don't have them. They don't get them because they miss when they call them. Either somebody drops it, he throws it out of bounds, or he gets sacked. And in every game, you will see shot plays. Got to have a place. Every team has them. Theirs haven't been working. So here we go. So we know we can't methodically drive it down the field. We're going to have to, whatever you see in the first quarter, the third quarter, they will show the similar look, and they'll have a play off of it. Mm-hmm. And they'll say, we got to hit it. That is what they will say. I'm going to call it, but you just got it. We got to hit it. And it'll be a big chunk play, a play thrown down the field, or maybe it'll be some stupid flea flicker, which I always hate, which I feel never works. But it'll be some sort of behind the backfield play that you hope TJ Watt doesn't blow up because he's not stupid. So, but you have to take risk.
I think
and that to me, isn't this crazy? It's risky. I think anything they do is risky, but it is at this point in time. Listen, we have to obviously admit that anything that we call that is down the field or takes a long time to develop is an inherent risk regardless.
Now, I think this is where the past of the Patriots meets the current of the Patriots, and Malik Cunningham just happens to be the guy of the moment. And what I mean by that is like you had Julian Edelman. And if there was one thing that this Patriots coaching staff was good at was understanding what can we run. And they're really good at normally hitting the when can we run it, right? You can go all the way back to some of the games in Indianapolis where I think it was, Troy Brown throwing a touchdown pass to David Patton or vice versa. Mm-hmm. The Edel pass, stuff like that. They're good at these kinds of things. But those plays came off of looks that they were certain that they could run. And more importantly, they knew they could trust the people running it. Julian Edelman, they trusted him to be able to throw that ball. Troy Brown or David Patton, they trusted those guys because they repped it. It felt like with the Raiders, it was the proverbial, give Malik a shot and see what happens, and it looked awful. So now it is, can they time it up the right way? Because look, do I think Malik's going to play? Yes. Will they probably throw him in the backfield with Zappi or maybe throw him in there one play with Zeke? Maybe, just to get a look, but it's not with the intent of really having Malik get in there. I think what people are thinking, Christian, quite honestly, is, well, Malik Cunningham can be the value brand version of Lamar Jackson. He can run around a little bit. He runs real fast. He can throw the ball down the field. And I think there are some that are jumping to when it's the whole, well, let's see it. How can it look? All that kind of stuff. It's the sugar plums dancing in your head of, wow, maybe they could be like Baltimore with a dynamic running quarterback and all this kind of stuff. And that isn't the case. You're right. it's an hors d'oeuvre. That's what
No,
Malik Cunnigham
and-
is. He's an hors d'oeuvre to the meal. The problem is the meal that the Patriots have been serving has been rubbish.
So I would say the other aspect of this that I think the Patriots are mindful of, if not they just if they can't even predict it was happen, they know that the Steelers know that when you have gimmick, double passes, all that stuff, that teams who are desperate, who can't generate any offense and just have no recourse and can't live and can't generate any offense whatsoever, you know the fake punt is coming. You know the flea flicker is coming. You just smell it. You smell the desperation across the field, and you know, and you just wait for it. It's so freaking obvious, and you see it in real time before your eyes. This is not the time for the Patriots to be doing these Julian Edelman double passes, these Troy Brown fake field goals. They expect it. Hey, guys, they're desperate. They suck. They can't score points. Be alert and be ready for everything. Punt team's got to be ready. Punt return team's got to be ready. I'm kidding. This is the way it works. This is the way crappy teams operate.
What you're describing the Bills saying everybody be ready to play.
Yeah. So to me, it's like I think Bill Belichick knows that the Steelers, listen, they're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. It ain't going to happen. Okay. So what they do is they say, well, how do we keep this safe and possibly productive without a risk of real damage? Now, real damage, what does that look like on a football field? Loss of yardage, mismanaging the snap, people running into each other, somebody sneaking in through the backfield, blowing up the play, then the ball gets fumbled, and then the guy picks it up. All that is on the table, especially with this group, this defensive group, with T.J. Watt. Like, he will ruin your offensive plays.
I think when he sees Malik Cunnigham in there, it's attack from TJ Watt. It's not, oh, let me stop and think. It is, let me go run at this guy. Here's the part of this that I wanted to get to with you. How much of this from Tomlin and the audio that we heard, and we are coming to you on the phones, is 617-779-7937, but how much of this that we heard from Tomlin is more rooted in the legend of Belichick? And how Bill has approached getting after the Steelers when Tomlin was there, where whether it was you guys playing that AFC title game in Pittsburgh, quick change turnover, boom, what'd you do? Hard play action geared toward Palamalu, and there goes Deion Branch right over the top because he got sucked up in there. That's a traditional play. But you understand my point is Tomlin has had issues of trying to get by the Patriots. He's had a Hall of Fame quarterback for a whole bunch of his career as well. So I wonder how much of this is the PTSD of the past and Tomlin doing the, oh boy, that can look different, and I'm not going to sleep on Bill Belichick and these coaches. Other people can, but like to me, I wonder how much of this comes from the coaching staff and Tomlin
I don't think any
having
of it.
dealt with them over the years.
I don't think any of it. I think any coach in his right mind would look at this, lean back in his chair and go, guys, the only thing that we got to be ready for, because if they switch out Bailey for Mack, those two dudes are the same. They're running the same plays. Don't worry about it. All the keys and the alerts don't adjust. The only guy that you got to have your rabbit ears up is if Malik Cunnigham comes into the game. Then, hey, you guys, we're going to go
to Baltimore.
No,
Baltimore game plan, done.
Like, even like that. So a lot of defenses, like if there's a lot of chaos and commotion and they have like a real maybe a tough call that has a lot of adjustments. In order not to be exposed and have a wide open guy running down the field, they all back up and they go just for purposes of this experiment.
No, I know what you're saying.
Hands. All right, they'll put both their hands up, and everybody knows it's cover two. It's a 4 down. It's basic football that you installed week 1. We're just listen. We can't do the exotic blitz we want. We don't know what's going on. They're moving everybody around. They caught us. Check. That's where the smart defenses go. They go to a base front because everybody knows cover 2. Everybody knows a 4 down front, 4-3 with cover 2. It's as basic as So we're going to minimize the possible damage. And sir, maybe they get 10 yards, but they don't get 40. Maybe they get maybe they just don't get a touchdown. Because that's all about just keeping it in front of you. That's what the Steelers will do.
Well, there's also the Thursday night football factor too, which is
what? Carissa
is
Thompson being your halftime and pregame and postgame.
Well, there's a little bit of that. Yeah,
Can you believe her?
But I'm thinking more of the these guys are now just getting to feel quasi normal from Sunday,
Kind of like me.
Exactly right with your big wreck. That's right. How you doing, by the way? You okay?
Still sore.
Are you really?
I'm real sore.
Is your abs
How'd the
still
car
hurt?
work?
Yeah. How's the car? What?
It is a disaster.
Wait, did you drive it today?
No, I have no car.
Wait a minute. I thought
no
you
car.
were taking it to. I thought
I
you were
know.
taking it to Monster Joe's Truck and Tow
I
to
was
get
supposed
fixed.
to. On my way
You
there.
can't fix it with just a plunger? Like, is
No,
that not-
I can't do it. No,
that won't
duct
pop it
tape.
out. We got pops dent on the
As
SC on TV.
As I'm driving down, they called me and they killed it because the liability. It was a whole. It's a whole mess, dude. Believe me, it's a freaking.
So
nightmare.
basically, your car is totaled.
Yeah. So that neither seatbelt
Driving-
works.
He's driving.
They canceled it because it's a liability, so he drove it to work.
I did. I know. I'm not taking. I'm done with the Uber thing, dude. I just go in the slow lane. I mind my P's and
Turns
Q's.
his hazards on.
I turn my hazards on. Yep.
It's like a
Right, so the
nana.
lights in the back even work.
People stay away from me too because they
Yeah.
look at they're like, this dude's reckless.
This guy has no idea what he's doing.
He's an aggressive driver.
He's the Mac Jones of the road.
Do you have your arm out the window doing your signaling?
Yeah.
You go like this.
The blinker
You gotta
works,
wave
but
him
Is
around.
waving people
all
by.
you hear is since the seatbelts don't work, it's constant ding 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 ding. I'm like, I wish I could pull my hand into the steering column and just rip out all the wiring so the stupid
Just take the
seatbelt
passenger
thing.
one and take it all the way across.
The passenger doesn't work either. That one broke too. It's amazing. Nobody was even sitting in the car. It doesn't work. It's a mess, dude.
This sounds like
It's
Yeah,
horrible.
what?
I
How
know.
are we all forget screaming about Malik Cunningham
I know.
and his 6
I
plays
know.
tonight?
I know.
We should be breaking this down for God's
Yeah.
sakes. I'm legitimately
bigger
worried. Like, do
disaster,
I need
48's
to?
car or the Patriots?
Yeah, honestly, I almost feel like you need to drop your car off at Gillette where you'll be tomorrow. Although it's
Yeah.
close enough for somebody to come get you.
Yeah.
I almost want to be like, boy, do you want to ride home and just leave your car?
I know.
So
My
that you
goal
know it's here on Monday.
If I can, my goal is tomorrow morning.
What do you mean tomorrow morning?
I have a call like at 2:10 to drop this stupid thing off, and if hopefully they take it.
A cliff?
Oh, I would love a cliff. I would love a cliff right now. Just kind of roll out of it as it goes off.
You gotta
Just-
Thelma and Louise it.
Just leave
Can you
it.
imagine the Carfax on this? Like if somebody tries to buy this car, like all the it's been in like 500 accidents. It's like the
I feel it's one of those things like we'll drain the fluids, we'll leave it in the parking lot, and it becomes like Gresh's punching bag in his house.
Oh yeah,
So like
the
everybody
heavy
can let
bag.
their people can let their aggression
Just take a
out.
bat out.
Ooh, you know
like a
what?
big rivalry game.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
Let's
a-
put the Steelers on the side.
Oh my God, Ken Laird, Mike Thomas just got the best idea.
Maybe they could buy them.
That's it.
My
No.
dad's a TV repairman. He's got the
That's-
ultimate toolkit.
You know what? That's what it is. That's what we do. We go to some giant
Yeah.
parking lot and we let people take baseball bats to your car to get their
Be
Patriots
awesome.
frustrations
I'm done.
out.
I'm in.
And then Ernie Bach
Spray
gives
paint
you a
it.
nice Subaru.
I'm in.
You would do it.
I'm in. But I think Coop would want that car because that's his dream car.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Coop wants a nice 4-door hatchback.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look,
To
I'm
go
going,
hiking.
cherry
He
picking.
has a 4-door hatchback.
Oh, of course he does. It's not a Subaru though, is it?
Is
It's a Subaru.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like
I was
the
thinking
it's the ultimate coupe car.
it's the ultimate Coop car.
Coupe does look like a Subaru driver.
At Wilkins Hyundai and Subaru, we have Hyundais and Subarus. Oh, God.